So on my first year with my Amazon product, I did $150,000 in sales, but only 10% of that turned out to be profit. And Travis here, in his first year, did $370,000 in sales and 33% profit. That's over 100,000 something dollars, which is a lot. So I was looking for where I made mistakes, and I found on YouTube a video of his where he talked about his mistakes, and it was very similar to what I had gone through. So we're sitting here with him. He's gonna talk about his numbers. He's gonna break down all his numbers, and then he's gonna talk about his mistakes, and then he's gonna give us advice on what he learned from his mistakes, because I don't wanna do these mistakes again.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah. We're also gonna reveal what his product is, which is not really the case in most YouTube videos. And if there's anything that you have to watch, it really is the last part where he gives us the advice, because that's what I'm personally curious about, and I'm sure you guys are curious about too, to avoid these mistakes. So make sure to watch at the end. Also, if you want to win a free call with me, I'm giving away one 30-minute call. All you have to do is comment Amazon FBA below, click the thumbs up, and subscribe and click on the bell, and I'll choose someone in the next video. So let's start off with your numbers.
Yeah.
Do you want to break them down?
In my first year selling on Amazon, I did about $370,000 in sales, but that's not profit. I think revenue is not profit. Everyone gets excited about revenue. And as you saw with like Sammer's, $150,000 in sales is really impressive. That's still awesome, but only 10% profit. And
yeah, you need to understand what each number indicates. So a high revenue is a good thing because it indicates that people are buying your product.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you're making a lot of money.
So one of the first costs associated with selling on Amazon is the cost of the product itself. And for me, I spent $100,000 making my products to make that $370,000 in revenue. So a lot of money goes into actually just making the product itself. On top of that, there's Amazon FBA fees, and there's two big fees. There's the Amazon pick and pack fee, and that's the cost associated with sending your product into the Amazon warehouse and for Amazon to pick it from their warehouse and send it out to the customers.
Basically the fee for the FBA program so that your product is prime.
Yeah. And then there's also a 15% fee. No matter how you sell on Amazon, if you want to sell on Amazon, there's a 15% flat fee for selling on Amazon.
And that's the fee of selling on Amazon.
Yeah, and those two fees for me was about $114,000 in expenses. So as you can see already, like $100,000 for the cost of the product plus $114,000 just to sell on Amazon. And there's still more fees.
Yeah, the cost of the product, was it with shipping?
Yeah, it was including shipping, including all the like little different random stuff, even including the loss of some of the products, because there's times where I'd pay for a production run and I'd order 5,000 units and they'd be like, sorry, we only got 4,800 units. And I had to add that into the cost of the product.
Did you do sea shipping or air shipping?
So my product is all made in the USA.
No sea then.
No sea, no air either. It's all freight. It's all like LTL, basically.
Beautiful, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what other fees did you have?
Another big one was PPC. Now I only spent about $12,000, $13,000 in PPC. The reason for this though, and I'm very lucky, my product sold really well even without PPC. So well in fact that I had to turn off my PPC for a few months because I was running out of inventory and I didn't want to run out of inventory. And so why spend money on PPC to run out of inventory faster?
Did you lose any rank?
I don't think so. No, I don't track it as well as I probably should have. I was just happy to see the sales keep coming in.
Also, I don't recommend it unless if you keep seeing the sales coming in.
And that's the only reason I did it. Like I actively wanted to slow down my sales because I didn't want to run out of inventory.
So PPC fees are not that high compared to mine. That's not bad. Any other fees?
Yeah, there was a bunch of other fees. There was the storage fee, which was about $2,300. And then I had just other random fees associated with my business. These were things like paying for the LLC fee, paying for virtual assistants. That was for me $18,000. And you don't need to, some of these fees were kind of optional. Like I said, like my virtual assistant, which saved me so much time, saved me so much energy, but about $18,000 in other fees. And
what part of these fees can be avoided?
The hiring the virtual assistant, which even it can be avoided, but it's the number one thing I've ever done for my business. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, you're a virtual assistant master. So.
I love it because virtual assistants can do all the boring parts of your business, so you can actually work on the high level parts of your business and just go enjoy your life. Like you don't need to be doing the boring stuff.
So after that, what was the profit?
Profit was about $120,000. So I was blown away by that. Like I was really happy about that.
I'm blown away by it too. That's amazing. In 1 year.
In my first year selling.
Was that one product?
That was one product, 1 year. First year selling this product on Amazon. Technically, I have sold on like Sammer, I have sold on Amazon before, but not doing anything like this.
Okay. Did you sell anywhere else other than Amazon?
I did. I also sold on Shopify, and I put very little effort into my Shopify store. I did about $17,000 in revenue on my first year selling on Shopify.
Okay, and where do you think that came from?
So part of it came from, my method is a little bit different than most people selling on Amazon. I did a Kickstarter for my product, and then I launched on Amazon, and then I launched on Shopify. And so everybody that was part of my Kickstarter, I sent them an email and said, hey, my product's on Shopify. It's gonna be discounted price for 1 week only. I highly recommend getting in on the subscribe and save, because my product's edible. So it's like every month you need a refill. So a lot of the sales came from that. Also, I did do Instagram. I have that's one of the things my virtual assistant did, was handle the Instagram. I literally put 0% of my time into Instagram. Yeah. She basically will send out messages to people and get them to take photos of my product. It's like all handled remotely. I don't lift a finger for that.
Amazing. So let's talk about the biggest mistakes that you made so that we can learn from them. I also have a video where I break down my numbers. So if you guys want to see it, subscribe to this channel. I'm not sure if it's already out or not, but it should be somewhere. Yeah. So what are your biggest mistakes?
Yeah, I made a lot of really big mistakes, but I think one of the biggest mistakes I made was poor sales projections. And I did this in the opposite way most people did. I thought I was gonna sell less product than I actually ended up selling, which sounds like a great problem to have, but it's still a problem. And so what I found is, I launched my product, and within probably 4 or 5 weeks, I realized I was selling way more than I had anticipated, and that I was gonna be running out of inventory. So I had to scramble and try to order more product, and I actually went out of stock for like 3 or 4 days.
I feel like every single seller goes through this problem.
Yeah.
Everyone runs out of stock.
Yeah.
Comment below if you agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think my first time doing this kind of an Amazon business, I didn't realize how powerful Amazon was. And then all of a sudden, because I've been selling online for about 7 years. And when you try to get someone to your own website and you try to get someone to purchase, it's a lot harder, but Amazon's a beast. And so I was selling 30, 40, 50 units a day, and I had anticipated to sell 10 to 20. Mm-hmm. And so 3 months worth of inventory went out in 6 weeks, basically.
So you ordered too little?
I ordered too little.
Did you ever order too much?
I haven't yet ordered too much.
Okay.
Not with this company, at least.
What's your lead time since your manufacturer is here?
My lead time should be 3 to 4 weeks, but it never ends up being that. There's always delays. So in an ideal world, it'd be 4 weeks, but it's been realistically 8 weeks.
Including shipping? Including
shipping, that's from the time that I placed the order till getting into Amazon. Should be 3 to 4 weeks, but it's, like I said, it's been 8 weeks.
That's not bad, because when we source from China, it's like 4 weeks for manufacturing and then 4 weeks for sea shipping, or 2 to 3 or 1 to 3 for air.
So my product also is kind of complicated because my manufacturer...
Let's reveal what the product is.
Yeah, my product is nut butter. It's performance nut butter. It's a macadamia coconut cashew blended nut butter, and it was the first product of its kind on Amazon. That's part of the reason it did so well in sales.
That's part of the reasons that you can turn off PPC too.
That's part of the reason I could, because there was really nothing else like it. In my opinion, I created a new category, which I think is super powerful. If you can do that, then you own 100% of that niche.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel like part of the next mistakes might have been related to this.
Yeah, the next mistake I made was poor cash flow management. And cash flow is it can be kind of a complicated topic, but it's really important. It's not sexy to learn about. I feel like nobody learns about it before they start Amazon, and then they wish they would have learned about it before they started.
And even if they learn about it, they still make the mistake because it's so hard to figure out.
Yeah, and my product, every time I do a production run, it's expensive. It's $30,000 for me to do a production run. And so basically, if you imagine, I had, let's say, $30,000 to start in my bank account. As soon as I did a production run, my bank account goes down to 0. And then I start slowly selling product. And as I mentioned, within 6 weeks, I realized I needed to place another order, but Amazon only pays you like every few weeks, and I didn't have enough money in my bank account to be able to place another order. So I waited, and then I ended up buying it a little bit too late, and that's why I ran out of inventory. So
yeah, if it's going to cost you $30,000 to order, you're not going to have that 6 weeks into ordering, right?
And on top of that, for me, a big reason why I waited so long, and this is a huge mistake I think a lot of people make, is fear. I was just scared because I'm like, maybe the sales are going to dry up. Maybe it's going to stop. Maybe all this success I'm having on Amazon, next week it's going to go away. It wasn't the case. For my entire first year, sales stayed extremely consistent. And I think don't let fear rule all your decisions. Make sure you realize that things can go well.
So that was your third mistake.
That was part of my third mistake. But the other part of my third mistake was not striking while the iron's hot. My business, my product was the first one of its kind on Amazon, and really the first kind ever. And I really should have hit it hard. I should have been doing Facebook ads. I should have been doubling down on Amazon and growing maybe even retail sales, but I didn't. And the reason I didn't do this, I think we might have talked about this. When I quit my job 7 years ago, I had the goal of making $300 a day passive income. And within a month, 2 months of launching my product on Amazon, I was making $300 profit per day, whether I worked hard or I just went and I laid on the beach. And
you live by the beach.
I'm in Santa Monica, I live by the beach, and I thought to myself, like, why do I want to, I don't want to, my goal isn't to make $500 a day, it's to make $300 a day, and I'm doing that, and it's relatively passively. Why really try to strike while the iron's hot? But I probably should have. I probably really should have tried to blown up my business.
So why do you think that mentality was wrong?
I think the mentality was wrong because it would have been really easy for me to grow that business very, very rapidly. Now, that being said, it's one of those things, it's weird because I don't regret what I did,
Yeah.
but if I were to give someone else advice, I'd say, this is the time to think about it for sure. I'm happy because I struggled for a long time. Like from the time I quit my corporate job until launching this product, I tried out a lot of different ways to make money online. And I felt like I kind of deserved some time to just go chill on the beach. But for someone else out there, I'd say, think about this. Like make sure you hit it, because I did start getting competitors in.
Yeah.
Like right away, within like a month or two after launching, I started getting other competitors. And luckily it didn't lower my sales, but it did make me nervous.
Yeah. So these mistakes, he talked about them in another video. I'll link it at the end of this video. But I watched that video and I'm like, whoa, that's exactly the mistakes that I made.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that you guys made similar mistakes. So I also did not order enough. I also ordered too much sometime. I also did not figure out cash flow and how it works. Still haven't, sort of. And I also got comfortable last year.
Yeah.
So what's some advice that you can give me and the audience?
So my biggest piece of advice, and this is especially true for like 90% of people on YouTube, never freaking launch a product. Launch a product, learn from the mistakes, and go launch another product. And the reason I say this is, sure, I could have doubled down on performance nut butter and I could have increased the sales, but I think the best way to increase your sales is launching another product.
Yes.
So for me, that is I have my original flavor, which is macadamia coconut cashew. I'm in the process, and very soon I should be launching a cacao version, which I realized pretty soon after launching that people like flavor, they like chocolate, and launching that new product has the potential to double, if not triple, my sales on Amazon. Versus if I would have done PPC and like all this kind of stuff, I might have been able to increase my sales 20% if I'm really lucky, or 30%. But launching new products is where it's at.
So that was my mistake with ordering too much. I was like, I need to rank more so that I can have more profit, and I need more units to give away for this to make this happen. And then, okay, I put so much money into this, but just for that extra profit when I could have ordered a new product.
And analysis paralysis is like the biggest thing that screws up so many entrepreneurs. I think it's great, like right now you're watching this YouTube video and you're learning these mistakes before you do it, but you're gonna learn 100 times more by making the mistakes yourself. Because I could tell you every single mistake I made, and until you make it yourself, you don't fully understand it. So if you take one thing away from this video, freaking just go launch a product, and then once you've launched the product, go launch another product. Go do something else. You know?
Yeah, that's excellent advice. Anything else?
My last piece of advice, and this is something I wish I would have learned a lot sooner, is enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, because you're gonna make a lot of mistakes, and I would freak out. I would have not like anxiety attacks per se, but pretty freaking close to that. And the truth is, like all the worst things that happened to me, a month later, I'm like, wow, I'm so happy that happened to me. So enjoy the ride, because this is fun. At the end of the day, you're not gonna be homeless. You're not gonna like live on the streets because your business failed. Hopefully not. But even if you ended up doing something like that, I bet you a year or two later, you'd be like, wow, I learned a lot from that experience. So enjoy the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, because that's entrepreneurship.
Yeah, everything is a lesson.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, I'm gonna break down my own numbers in another video, so subscribe if you wanna see that. And click right here if you wanna see a video of his 2-year update. So he's been selling for 2 years now, and he's gonna do an update in this video. So click right here. And
all my numbers, everything right there.
So click right there, and we'll see you guys there.
First, I'm gonna share with you my actual sales numbers, including all my Amazon FBA fees and some surprising costs with Amazon nobody talks about. Then I'm gonna share with you every single mistake